Hey you guys, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to try filming a different type of video this time around. Typically when I do YouTube content, it's always very focused, very structured, very formulaic, if you will, with a plan and a look and a breakdown. And today I just felt like coming on here and talking a little bit about life. There's so much going on that wanted to share some things I've been thinking about, and also just talk to you kind of very casually about products. Nothing is sponsored. Many of these things I purchased myself, which is often the case with my videos anyway, but in this case, I just wanted to be as organic as possible. Hopefully something you guys can really feel is from the heart and relate to. And so here you go. I just got off of a long day in front of the computer. I did a Instagram live this morning with Suku, which was a dream. The brand is something that's been near and dear to my heart for a really long time, since learning about it probably 4 or 5 years ago, and shopping it every time I would get the chance to be in Europe. And so getting a chance to talk with George, who is the creative director, and go over products that we both love was really fun. And for those of you who made it, thank you so much. It was nice to see you there. I got a lot of questions about the makeup that I was wearing, which was a lot of it was Suku. And so at the end of this video, I'll do a quick breakdown and show you the pieces if you're interested, and of course link to everything I'm talking about below in case that's useful for you. The other thing I've been thinking about a lot is just, I don't know, I guess people you say to me all the time, wow, Rachel, you're doing a lot. Being a mother full-time, of course, which is my chief job, and Johanna, who just turned 2 this past weekend, could not be more loved, and I could not be more grateful every single day to God for having her. So a lot of my time is spent on that and with her. And then teaching full-time. Right now I'm teaching 2 classes this summer, but everything's online, and so it's just an extra layer of kind of complexity that way. And then beauty writing, which is something I've done since 2012, which is a really kind of long time in the blogging world, but certainly something that's become a full-time job in addition to my other jobs. And I just want to be really honest when I say I am not doing any of these things flawlessly or super well. At times I get overwhelmed, I get discouraged, I get stressed out, and despite obviously wanting to bring the most positive kind of elements into my content, because that's what I enjoy, was looking at positive things, I just want to be real with you and say, life, even though I exercise gratitude, there's also a lot of intense, heavy things going on that I deeply feel in my heart. The state of the world, everything going on with coronavirus, of course, everything on a social justice level. There's just a lot. I think so many of us are really feeling things in a visceral way, and I am too. I think when things feel tough and frustrating, just missing the things that we were used to doing, which sounds very shallow, but just going shopping, going out, feeling like the world was a place where you could find some enjoyment. That stuff feels sadly absent and right now, and we're looking for fun and joy in different ways, which is healthy. But I do think that you can exercise gratitude and still kind of mourn the loss of things that you miss. And I'm learning that, because I want to just be grateful and thankful for the good things that are in my life, and there's so many, and I am so grateful. But that can often sometimes eclipse being real about things that you're bummed out about. I miss being face-to-face in person with my students. That doesn't mean I'm not going to give them my all online, but I miss that. I miss that interaction. And I look at the world and Joey growing up in it, and I wonder sometimes, what's her childhood? As much as we're doing everything possible to make it as positive, and she's the happiest baby, but as positive as possible, her life experiences of freedom and being out and about are so different right now than what my brother's was and mine was growing up, where we really were free and running around the watchful eye of my mom. So I lament that stuff, and I think about it, and I hope that You're not watching this like, oh my gosh, here's some like intense stuff. Well, I thought she was talking about beauty. I am going to get to that. But I just am wondering, like, how are you guys processing the world right now? How are you feeling? I'm just trying to really embrace this idea that there's a duality that we can have in our hearts between being grateful for the good in our lives, and there's so much good, and also being honestly sad in some cases about the stuff in this world that feels heavy and kind of grievous. So wanted to put that out there. In terms of like products I've been loving, this is just very unstructured today. I'm kind of all over the place. I will say that I am working on a bowl of pasta right now, and this is perhaps the craziest pasta I've tried. I'm a pasta lover. If you follow me on Instagram, you guys know that pasta is something it's like a weakness for me. I've always loved it. It's like the best food to me, but I know it's not that great for you. So I'm always looking for alternatives. My husband brought this pasta home from the store. It's edamame flour and spirulina, and that's it. That's 2 ingredients. I'll link to the exact brand below, but it comes out looking like noodles. I wanted you guys to see the texture here. I feel very gauche eating on camera, but I'm being real here. If you put some butter and some salt, and I put a little bit of Parmesan cheese in here, it almost passes for real pasta. There is kind of a spirulina taste. If you're familiar with that flavor, you know, but it's mild, and I don't feel like it's off-putting. And if you've been searching for pasta alternatives, this is one that I'm actually happy with. I've had it 2 days in a row, so that's saying something. Anyway, this has been the food today. And then I have been drinking this super green tea. It's called Lean Green, and it's got Japanese matcha, green tea, cinnamon, and Garcinia Cambogia. So it's kind of like a metabolizing formula, kind of help you burn fat and excess calories and give you some energy. It's by Republic of Tea. Bought it at Whole Foods via Amazon, and I like it. I think the fact that it has the cinnamon, I love cinnamon taste, so that makes it feel different for me than just traditional green tea, which I like as well. But it's refreshing. I'm actually very pleased with what it tastes like, and I'll continue drinking. It's only been a few days, but it's been a nice kind of side beverage to get my hydration on, but also get some additional benefits. While we're kind of on a kick of random things, I wanted to talk to you about deodorant for a second. I've done some great projects with Kosas in the past. I want to be very clear. This is not one of them. In no way is this sponsored, but I did receive this as a press sample a month or so ago. It's the Kosas Sport Chemistry Serum Deodorant. I have been on the search for a natural deodorant, one without the aluminum and the other stuff that I know is bad for us, for a long time. And like many of us, I've tried a bunch of different formulas, and I haven't found anything that keeps the human fragrance at bay for any long period of time. This is different. I'm already halfway through this. This is the Serene Clean fragrance. There's also one that has no fragrance at all, but this is so subtle, I barely even can detect it. But it uses AHA. It uses AHAs to basically kind of change the environment of your underarms and keep bad smells from developing. That's the best way I can explain it. It was a lot more technical and scientific when I was at the virtual press lunch a month ago, but I'm stunned because it's really the only deodorant I've been wearing. I usually do natural and then kind of do a protective swipe of traditional antiperspirant just to be kind to others around me, but I haven't needed to with this one. It's a roller ball. It is liquidy, so you shake it and then you just apply. But you guys, like, it's been a month and I'm using it still, and it's hot and sweaty here in Southern California, so I just needed to weigh in on this on a very personal note. Deodorant is kind of one of those weird topics, especially for someone who talks about luxury beauty and skincare most of the time, but it's the first one I've tried that really truly works, that I've stuck with for a month. So I'm not saying it's for everyone, but it's been transformational for me. So I made some notes about things. Oh, okay, I wanted to show you guys this jumpsuit that I ordered. It's by Vitamin A, and it's kind of like these like harem pants with little, you know, elasticized ankles. And then this ruched top part that you can actually get away without wearing a bra with, which was a bonus for me. in this heat, being at home. And then these little spaghetti straps that you can tie to the level that you want. So it's very customizable. I ordered it in a size medium and a size large because it's 100% cotton, and I knew I would be like washing and drying it a lot if I wore it a lot in the summer. And can I tell you, I first just ordered it in a medium. I ordered a large just as a backup, just to have a different kind of billowing option. But I ordered the second one after wearing the first one like 2 or 3 days straight. That's what you can do when you're at home. And I love this. It's so cute. Like even with a sweater, you could dress it up with heels if that were ever to be required. And I think it's just like the perfect, very cool, comfortable summertime outfit that still looks like you did something. I stumbled upon vitamin A. It was like an Instagram ad for me on my phone once, and that's kind of how I fell into that rabbit hole. But I've ordered a couple bikinis from them since then that were on sale. This is not on sale. Bought it full price 2 times over, but it's one of those pieces I've already gotten a lot of wear out of. So I wanted to show you. I'll try to like post a picture of it. Oh, for skincare, I've been using a lot of the Cerucel KFS serum. I like these like one and done formulas when possible, and this one has been my go-to. This is actually my second bottle at this point. I started the first bottle right at the beginning of lockdown, probably mid-March. Did a video on it just initially, and I feel like there's so much interesting science behind it. I've actually had calls with the brand to really ask all my questions and understand it, but essentially what it does is it retrains your skin to behave more youthfully, in a nutshell. I am really impressed with what it's done for my skin. It's kept it really like bright, even, firm, and it's been my go-to day and night. You can layer other skincare over it if you feel like you need to, but there are some days where this is all I wear. You can get it on the Cerucel site, but you can also get it off of Verishop, which I've ordered from a bunch of times, had good experiences with. So I'll link to both below in case you're interested, but I wanted to just show you that and talk a little bit about it now that it's been over 3 months of testing. What's in my makeup bag? I wanted to talk about a few pieces. So I have been, I don't know, my bathroom, because I'm just getting ready quickly, mostly for Zoom meetings or quick videos or things I'm shooting, my makeup bag has started looking like this. And I just kind of throw some common products in addition to the stuff that I'm using for a shoot or things I'm testing. But some staples that I've been using a lot of. That's kind of what I wanted to show you today and talk a little bit about. I've been using a ton of the Lawless blush. I wrote about all the colors on Beauty Professor. I'll link to my review with swatches, but this is called Vintage Love. You can see I've already like rubbed off the Lawless. It's the most sublime, pinky, dusty rose tone. It's almost mauve. And I have it on my cheeks right now. It just does something to the face to really contour, give it depth. I don't know. This isn't a color I would go to normally. I'm like a pinky peach person, but it's just, it does something exceptional on the face, and I feel like it's one of those shades that would work for every skin tone. So don't sleep on this one. If you're looking at it like, I'm not sure, if you see it on the Sephora site, you might feel underwhelmed, but I'm telling you, it's transformational for the complexion, and it does something different than a typical peachy pink rose blush would do. Yeah, and of course I'm using my Surratt Artistic Cheek Brush for everything, still, always. That's why it's in this bag. Another piece that I've been using nonstop, I've done tutorials with it, is this Rowan Summer Disco eyeshadow. It's often the shade that's on my eyes when people go, what's on your eyes? So that's the best way I can explain it, but it looks like this. It's this warm kind of coppery with the tone with gold flecks added in there. You can see I was doing some swatching earlier today. And I guess if you're not a fan of like larger particles, it could be concerning. So I just want to be clear about that. I don't mind it because I feel like they stick on the eye. It doesn't create fallout. It's a cream. I use my fingers to apply it. And when I need to get my eyes ready in under a minute, this is what I reach for every single time. And also for liquid liner, I've been using a lot of this So Addicted Lash Addict. It was sent to me, and the brand also has lip plumpers, which I've really been loving, but I'll save those for a future video. But this is really deep black liquid liner that once it dries down, it does not move, does not transfer. I know a lot of liners make that claim, and I actually have a few in my repertoire that do that, but this has been my newest kind of love, and the brand is really interesting to me. They kind of focus on a few key products, and this is one of them. They also have lash serum and brow serum, which I've been using, but it's too soon for me to weigh in on the efficacy. So I just wanted to show you this. I think it's really effective, and for a cat eye right through here, it just stays in place. I don't have it on right now, but I wanted to show you. Also, I've been wearing a couple of Ducorte shadows that are the eye gems. This one is shade BE302. Check this out. It's so just easy, creamy, neutral, pale chestnut. It's like suede on the eyes. I'll share swatches in some future content, but I'm just telling you, it's an easy wash of color with no shimmer. It just kind of makes your eyes look creamy and interesting. It's another one of these eye gems, and it's in a pink tone, and the combination is just otherworldly. It makes it look like you spent so much more time on your eyes than you actually did. For mascara, you know, of course, there's plenty I love, but what I've been wearing a ton of lately is the new Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. I ordered this right when it launched. I ordered it from the Hourglass site, and I liked the last Hourglass mascara, which is really what prompted me to order this one. The chief difference, besides the fact that the other Hourglass mascara is in like a triangle container and has a slightly different brush, a little fluffier brush, the chief difference in formulas for me is that this is a tubing mascara, whereas the other one is not. And I think that for me, I like it, especially in the summer, because it behaves in a waterproof way, even though it's not waterproof. If you get into water and you do this, you will get tubes of mascara off of your lashes. So if you agitated it at all, they will come off. I think if you just got underwater and didn't do anything, it would stay. But I've loved tubing mascara since my early days of Beauty Professor, when I was tracking down Japanese mascaras, which many of them are tubing. I feel like they're gentle on the lashes. You don't have to work so hard to get it off. And it's pretty, it doesn't smudge because it's a tube rather than a formula that's kind of dyeing your lashes or coloring them. So it's good, you guys. I like it. If you don't like tubing mascaras, stay away. But if you do, or you have never tried one and you want to, I think it's a good purchase. I do. Another thing that's always within arm's reach of me, no matter what look I'm creating, I feel like it doesn't matter what brand I'm using, I use so much of this Westman Italia Peau de Pêche. Like the dewiest skin possible without looking overtly shiny. And I just use my fingertips, pop it onto the high points of my cheeks. Even when I'm doing minimal makeup, I still use this just to create this really multi-dimensional skin. And I have the tan version, but nothing beats this shade for me. I think it's almost a non-color, but it creates really an interesting kind of light to the face. And I'll finish with these two. So lip liner is still, for me, the Lancome Natural Mauve. And I mean, look at how used this is. It's insane. I need to sharpen it. But I just feel like it's the exact color of my lips. You can line outside and you're good to go. And then for eyeliner, still the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal. So I've really run through this one, and it does need to be sharpened as well. So it's always on my waterline. It's definitely on my waterline today. Another thing I wanted to talk about, because I got so many questions when I put this on Instagram, is the Chanel Les Beiges Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. You've seen it all over the internet, and I've been using it for the last week. You can see where the indents were, but are now gone. And I didn't have the original. I missed it, and I tried to get it, and it was always sold out, and then it was gone entirely, and then they came back with this new one. And it's just a slight update, I was told, but I've also heard from followers and readers that it's not as pigmented, that it has different ingredients, that it's pulls orange. Okay, none of these have been my experience, by the way. I've been using this Super Sponge, which is a beauty blender-esque situation, coated in silicone, which means it doesn't absorb as much product, but I just want to show you, this is how I've been applying it rather than a brush. And then I just go in with the sponge and I go into contour. Now, it's not going to be as realistic because I already have makeup on from earlier today, but I'll just show you where I put it. I have to tell you, it is the most natural, seamless, texture-free finish I've encountered. I ordered one for myself from the Chanel store. They called me when they finally got it in. I ordered one for my mom as a gift after tax season. Bless her for doing so much bookkeeping and helping us all out. And we like it. Like, it's not really strong color, but you can build it to more intense color. I'm definitely like NC30, NC35 right now, and I get a really nice color payoff. And when I layer it, I feel like you can't see it on the skin, which is amazing. The other things I wanted to mention to close are twofold. One is that my friend wrote a book. I covered it on Beauty Professor. This is a friend from the beauty world. We also have other connections, familial connections. I've worked with her mom in education. It's just like, it's a long story of how we re-met, but it's been years, and her name's Carolyn McBride. She wrote this romantic comedy. She's such an interesting person. I profiled her on Beauty Professor. I'll link to my full interview, but in honor of the launch of her book this week, I wanted to profile her as a person and what she's done in the industry. She's worked in PR, she's worked in marketing. She's fascinating, but she wrote this book. It's her first book, and it's a really fun, strong summer read. And I love supporting people who are creating things. So I just wanted to show you. I ordered mine on Amazon, and it's a really kind of like nice escapist book that still gives your mind, you know, a nice challenge, an intellectual challenge to think about things. It's well written, that's what I mean, but it's a fun escape at the same time. I love a good romantic comedy with a happy ending, and that is this. So if you're looking for something like this, and I always am, then here you go. And then finally, for the stuff that's on my face, additionally, when it comes to Suku, I'm just wearing so much of the Nude Wear Liquid EX. That's what's on my face. I put it on like 8 hours ago. No touch-ups, no setting powder, just the most seamless finish. If you can find your shade match, and mine is 035, go for it. It's so good, and I'll link to a review of it. And then I have these two Suku shadows on my eyes, which I'll try to photograph and link to on the blog. But this one and this one make this. Plus, I added a touch of my favorite shade, which is number 12. I said 11 in the live today. But you can see it's well used here. And it was sold out for a long time. I hope they've replenished it. Number 12, it's just insane at the brow bone. Like, I hope this captures it. The light, the shift, it's like wet looking, but it's complete powder and it doesn't budge. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's always in my makeup bag. And then for lips, I'm wearing 2 shades, and that's it. Well, I put some lip liner on this morning, but this is the Vibrant Rich lipstick, and I have it in shade 2 and shade 107. And I do 2 first, which is like a permanent color in the collection. Just a Your Lips But Better kind of pinky nude with some coral. And then I use the 107 on top, which is a little bit lighter. And the combo just says, like, hey, my lips have been volumized. So creamy, so good. And if you like a pinky nude lip, this pairing is invaluable. I bought a couple boxes of these. I'll tell you this. Slip, the silk ones are well worth it if you can swing it, compared to the less expensive imitations out there made of inferior material. So the polyester version or the synthetic version, it gets caught in your hair. It looks cute on the wrist, but that's it. And they break. And the slip ones don't, and they're worth it. And I always have one on my wrist. It's funny, somebody who's following me on Instagram asked me, like, what's that black band you have on your wrist? I think she thought it was jewelry, and I had to explain it's a hair tie. But I guard these things with my life. I don't want to lose them like I lose traditional hair ties, because it's so good for just popping your hair up and it doesn't damage your hair. So there's that. All right, this was definitely, I feel like, less composed than my normal videos. If you've made it to the end of this one with me, thank you. I hope you found the talk, the chat interesting, relatable, real life. I just feel like I'm coming from a different place right now. Like, okay, here it is. And I hope it speaks to you. So I want to thank you guys for hanging in there, like always, for so many years in many cases, and encouraging me to keep creating content and supporting this Beauty Professor community the way that you have. and I will link to everything I've talked about below, and new stuff coming up soon. I know I'm going to be talking about the Nordstrom sale because I have every year for 8 years and I'll have recommendations. I have some new beauty that has just launched. It's not even actually on the market yet, but coming soon that I'll have swatches for, stuff in the concealer realm and foundation. I'm excited to share this stuff, and I'll be having it popping up in new Beauty Professor blog posts soon. So stay tuned for that. Stay well. Thank you again for watching, and I am wishing health and happiness and purpose and peace on all of you and all of your families. And visit me at Beauty Professor and on Instagram, where you'll always see new content as well. Take care. More soon.